everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Noni, and I would like to welcome you to the very first episode of Lamudi's Webilaunch series. The Lamudi Webilaunch series aims to introduce the newest project offerings in the market that property seekers like you can look forward to. We will be highlighting in particular projects that boast of innovation and unique features that will surely be worth your investment. So, over the past few days, we've been seeing several posts teasing us about a big disruption in the real estate industry. And if you're like me and curious about finding out what it really is, then it's our lucky day because today we will be finally finding out what it is. So, joining me in on this unveiling episode are Gigi Alcantara, Vice President for Sales and Marketing of PH1 World Developers, Albert Ong, Head of Business Development of PH1 World Developers. We also have Bram Olfen, Vice President for Engineering of Megawide, and Mr. Edgar Saavedra, Chairman and CEO of Megawide Construction Corporation. Good afternoon, Gigi,
Hi.
Albert, Bram, and Edgar.
Hi,
Good afternoon, Lonnie.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. I, for one, am very excited to find out more about what this disruption is that I have been hearing about. So I guess I would like to start with Albert. Albert, PH1 World Developers is quite a new player in the real estate business. But despite this, you are already rocking the industry by introducing this disruption. We want to get to know PH1 World Developer better. Can you tell us more about you?
Yes, Noni, no? So founded last 2009, PH1 World Developers, or formerly we call it MySpace Properties Incorporated. It's a new real estate company, no, that aims to disrupt the property development conventions through innovation and engineering technology. So through our builder partner, Megawide Construction, we want to create products that provides innovative and first-world experiences to our customers.
When you say PH1 World, Albert, what do you try to stand for? What is it that you, I guess, want people to think when they hear of PH1 World Developers?
Yes, Noni. So in PH1 World Developers, no, we stand for something that is extraordinary. So that means we want to deliver extraordinary value to every homeowners in our extraordinary project. No? So we want to provide value for money. We also want to deliver extraordinary experiences. No? So this is by providing extraordinary service, no? Through our property management, through the amenities that we provide. And we also make sure that the buildings that we design are unique and has extraordinary features. No? Later, we'll discuss this in one of our projects.
I see. You mentioned earlier that you're also previously MySpace Properties, right?
Yes.
I know that MySpace is the company, the developer behind the Hive, which is the first ever integrated condominium community in Taytay. Apart from the Hive in Taytay, is there any other exciting projects that we can expect from PH1 World Developers?
Yes, Noni. So next year will be a very busy year for PH1 World Developers. We plan to launch another 3-tower mid-rise development, also very close to Taytay. That's located in F. Pasco Avenue in Pasig City. No? After our very successful development in Taytay, so we want to create another phase, no, for the Hive. And we're also moving down south. No? We have a 15-tower development in a 10 hectares area located in Lancaster City in Kawit, Cavite. So that will be due for launch next year. No? So it will be a very busy year, no? Exciting year for PH1 World Developers.
Well, I guess, Albert, based on what you've shared with us, to sum it up from my understanding, no, of what you just said, PH1 World Developers is synonymous to being extraordinary, diba?
Yes.
You guys try to develop extraordinary. And I guess true to this vision, it's also the reason why you have partnered with one of Philippines' most innovative infrastructure company, which is Megawide. Yeah, so I guess, hi Edgar.
Hi, Noni.
So Megawide has actually been in the industry for almost 24 years now, right? And throughout this period, Megawide has introduced several new technologies in your project. Can you walk us through this?
We started as an engineering and construction company So where the leading especially in engineering side is because Megawide has been innovating, has been introducing so many new technologies. In fact, one of our main DNA is our main core competence is we started really building condominiums, high rises, low rises, and commercial buildings. So we have introduced so many new technologies. We were the one who introduced the precast technology. So we are the most advanced when it comes to doing prefab work, and we are able to deliver faster construction, better quality in compared to the industry standards. So then Megawide have diversified into infrastructure in the last 5 years. We are the operator of Cebu Mactan Airport and also the PITX in the bus intermodal in Parañaque. So, and currently Megawide is also actively participating in most of the infrastructure development.
So I'm actually quite curious, Edgar and Bram. You both are in the forefront of some of the most innovative structures in the Philippine construction industry, right? I want to know, when you buy a property, what are the things that you consider? Can you share some tips to, I guess, me and our viewers?
Okay, maybe I'm a little bit biased here because I work for the contractor. But if I would buy a property, even if I bought a property in the Netherlands, where I come from, I would always first look who is the contractor, because and what is their track record of handing over buildings on time, as well as how is their finishing and quality. I mean, normally you buy an apartment only once in your life, or maybe 2 times, but you will not buy multiple apartments. So you need to make sure that it is properly done. Then in the Philippines, I look also, okay, who is the structural designer, just to make sure that during earthquake your building stays upright. So that needs to be checked. And then you always have to look also at the fire and life safety. So for me, if I buy an apartment, I would always look at the entrance doors. Are they fire rated? Yes or no? What did the contractor do with regards to the rises? Are they fire rated? So these are really typical things, but that is also because I have a background, of course, in engineering, so I know what to look at. But if I would give an advice to homeowners that want to buy a property, yeah, look at the track record of the contractor. If they have a good track record, you are safe to buy a unit with them.
All right. So Bram has shared that if you're looking to buy a property for personal use, first check who the contractor is to make sure that it's well done, and there are safety measures being applied, right? What about you, Edgar? Is there anything else you can share to our viewers?
Yeah, for me, Noni, is number one. The space planning is very important for me. So I make sure that like for example, the floor to floor height, the space that you have, because typically a lot of the development now here, because many of the developers are so cost conscious, they try to save cost by limiting the hallways, and the height, and it makes the feeling of living in the condo so cramped. So I think for me the space is number one. Then number two, I want more natural ventilation. I prefer a condo where you have the natural ventilation, not only inside the condo where you have bigger windows, but also even the corridors where you have a more natural ventilation. So I prefer a condo unit that is more sustainable, natural vent from your windows and also on your back door, meaning your main entrance door. And I prefer also having amenities where you also have more space, like common space, because typically most of the condominiums here now they're trying to sell every square inch of the area. They're trying to sell everything. So I prefer like even on every floor you have some natural extras, like space for your kids or for you to hang out in one floor, because typically you don't go down to one floor and to amenities to stay there, because at least on every day to day you can just hang out in the corridor. You can also hang out not limited to the units.
Yeah, there. So it's really more or less space planning, natural ventilation, and make sure that spaces is maximized, right? From Edgar here. So I guess with Megawide and PH1, you guys continue to partner from the Hive up to this new project, which is really when you combine extraordinary from PH1 and innovation from Megawide. This is really the disruptor that we have been hearing about. But I guess this question is more for Gigi. I heard actually, Gigi, that with this new project, you are offering up to 30% free condo space at no extra cost. Okay, it seems impossible, to be honest. Is this true?
Absolutely true. This is true, but I don't blame you. It's really hard to believe. It's the same kind of reaction that I get when I get to talk to people, even with friends and family. It's something that is unmatched in the industry, well, at least in the Philippines as we speak. And with more than 20 years in the real estate industry, this is also the first time that I have encountered such a concept, and thanks to Megawide.
Wow. Well, actually, Gigi, now that you've confirmed that, I kind of believe it a little bit, but honestly, I still find it hard to believe. This is the first time we're hearing this free extra space at no extra cost. So I have to see it with my own eyes. So is it possible? I know that you have prepared a sneak peek video for us. Do you mind sharing it with our viewers?
Sure. But before we do that, I'd like to say a little bit more about my Enso. My Enso Lofts is the first high-rise residential condominium development of PH1 World in collaboration with Megawide. And because of this collaboration comes this incredible innovation, which is the Loft technology. And with the Loft technology, we are giving literally every resident of my Enso a free space on top of his floor space without him having to pay extra. So how amazing is that, Noni?
So amazing, it's unbelievable. Yeah, so I guess that Loft technology really is what gives that extra space at no extra cost. So I'm all the more excited to actually watch the video that you have prepared for us. Can we tour the video now?
Sure. This is in our actual showroom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the living area. Get to appreciate the high ceiling. And there you go. We have our loft space. And this is where we're providing that extra space for our unit owners.
The other design that we also did in Enzo, after working with the PH1, we have a high floor-to-floor ceiling, which means the headroom is very high. It's like 50% more space typically compared to the common condominiums. We're in half of the area, the space we provided with loft technology.
I'm actually interested to know, Gigi. You mentioned about that extra space. What adjustments can homeowners make in this space?
Yeah, with the Loft technology, we're actually giving each unit owner the liberty to have him convert the space according to his needs. So whether it be a need for a home office, or maybe an extra storage, or maybe just to suit his personal passions, or just another sleeping area. So this is where he could utilize actually the loft structure, the loft space, at no extra cost.
No extra cost. I guess this one is a question for Bram. Bram, with all this new technologies, you have your Loft, you have your atrium, so many open spaces. I'm curious to know, what is the design concept that you guys were aiming for when you created this design for my Enso Lofts?
First of all, I have to thank, of course, ECTA, who is the architect of the building. It's not designed by Megawide themselves. We had a renowned architect from the Philippines, ECTA, to design it. The brief that we gave to ECTA was that we really wanted to create high ceilings and give people the opportunity to have some additional space. And then with that, the way the configuration of the plot was also to ensure that there is really like a tunnel of natural light coming through the building. And with the creation of the central core of the building, on both sides you have like the light beaming down into the building. It creates really a natural feeling.
What we did, the design, we made sure that on every floor you have this sky garden, where at least on all the unit buyers in one floor, they will have an additional space where they can just, if you have kids, bring your child to that space to do some biking. At least you have a small pocket garden on every floor.
On every floor?
Yes. Yes, PH1 could have, they could have just made that as a condo unit to sell it, right? But you can see that the intent of the design is that to make sure that the quality of living, the lifestyle is different from a typical condominium.
An upgraded lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Or sustainable.
Sustainable, yes.
This one is a question for Albert. Albert, earlier Edgar touched on sustainability, right? And it's actually quite popular now. What are the green and eco-friendly features of a My Enso Lofts home?
Actually, as mentioned by Bram and Edgar a while ago, one of the key features here that focuses on the eco-friendly is the natural ventilation. We have an atrium in the corridor that provides natural lighting for the residents. We have a lot of open spaces also. We have a Zen garden in our amenity area. And also we provide balconies in some of the floors that can be used by residents to relax and hang out. And also we have 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom units which have also balconies that provides a breathing space to all the residents. So there's a lot of green stuff, a lot of open space, a lot of natural ventilation that really focuses on sustainability.
Edgar, is there any inspiration behind the design of My Enso Lofts?
Yeah, when we were collaborating with the architect Edward Tano and the group of PH1, we were trying to come up with what should be what can we deliver? What are the value proposition? And we said that typically if we will be staying in the condo, we want the unit to be spacious. We want to have more space because typically especially nowadays, not only the condo size is getting smaller, right? Because of the affordability. So having extra space, whether a bedroom, whether it's a storage, is really very critical, very important. So, and we also want that we have a natural ventilation because of the cost of the condo units now, where developers are trying to sell every space. So now we lost the natural ventilation of an area right now. So those were the things that we were trying to solve when we did the design. And like, for example, as I mentioned earlier also, that what are the common problems that we have in condo aside from the space? Even the units, like you have the column protrusion. So sometimes the layout of the furniture you're not able to practically reconfigure your layout because of the protrusion of the unit. And sometimes the windows are so small, and the air conditioning unit is a window type, and it's noisy, it's leaking. These are all typical problems that we encounter in condo, right? And like the space is so cramped, the hallway looks so cramped also. So with all this pandemic, how do we address that? So that's why even in My Enzo, even the air conditioning, we didn't use the window type air condition. We use the split type, which is a higher grade, even in the studio, and also a 1 bedroom. This is just to show to our customer and to the unit buyers that in spite of the price that PH1 is offering, but we're giving a higher product, higher higher features.
All right. Well, I mean, after everything that you have shared, I guess there's no other choice for me but to believe it. And I am actually now a believer. So I'm a convert. All right. So, Gigi, I want to ask right now, the live, work, and play lifestyle has become a necessity. Diba? People's movements have become restricted, and we now work where we live, but at the same time, we want where we live to be able to help us relax and distress, right? So how does the My Enso Lofts take this lifestyle into consideration?
Okay, with the My Enso Loft, having dedicated spaces for work and play is never a problem because of the extra space. And then aside from the loft, we are also giving them exclusive access to the leisure and business amenities within the tower, okay, including a co-working space. So that if they're already tired of being in their unit, they can just go down in the lower floors and enjoy the amenities. And they can also make the co-working spaces an extension of their home.
Do we have this video also that we would like to share with the viewers, so you guys can give us a tour of the whole tower? Let's take a look at it.
Okay. So here, Noni, this is the drop off of My Enso Loft Tower. And as you can see, this is the retail area. This is the commercial space. And the escalator will bring you to the external lobby, connecting the commercial area and also the inner lobby. Okay, bringing us to the private My Enso Tower.
So you have two lobbies.
Yes, we have two lobbies. So this is as you go up the escalator, and then this is the more private lobby that will bring you now to the different units. This is the floor of our amenities. We are very generous with our amenities. We have 2 floors of amenities. We have 2 infinity pools, and this is an open area, okay? And we do not have only leisure amenities, but also business amenities. We have a co-working space, so that when you get tired in your unit, you can actually make the co-working space as an extension of your home, and while at the same time also relax in the different amenities that we have. We have a gym, we have a function room, we have a co-working space and infinity pool, and these are our units.
Okay. So there's the ad loft.
Yes, that's the ad loft.
Yeah.
That's the loft. Yes, for each unit. So here, it can be a bedroom, or it depends on your needs. You can also have it as your office. This is a typical 1-bedroom unit. We also feature a balcony for all 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom units. Okay.
And you see, there really are a lot of natural lights coming in from, I guess, the bigger windows, right? And even the high ceiling is very, more or less, it's very noticeable.
Yes, and then all units would actually come with a split type aircon, even the studio units. We are providing also all units with kitchen cabinets and a heater and a keyless entry door locks for all units.
Wow.
We are also equipping the tower with 24-hour security, and all units will be equipped with a keyless entry door locks. And of course, on top of that, we have 8 elevators in the whole tower, consisting of 45 stories and offering about 1,200 units.
Ram, maybe you can explain further. By the way, one of the key features that we did also in the design is the elevators. Maybe you can explain further, because that's one of the problems. Commonly, that's one of the problems, right? You always have this vertical traffic, right? So maybe you can explain further what we did. How did we solve that problem?
So what we did was with the core, because normally what happens is that the core goes from, let's say, ground floor all the way till the roof, every elevator. But we used another system where we have split up the building in different zones. So every zone has 2 elevators. So you have the low zone, the mid zone, and the high zone. So when people have condominium, let's say, on the highest floors, they don't have to wait for people to get out on the mid zone and the low zone. They just press for the elevator directly to the high zone. So it significantly reduces the travel time and as well and the waiting time. So your experience in the building is much better than in normal residential units in normal buildings.
Yeah, because typically, Noni, most of the average waiting time now in most of the condominium, I think is around 2 to 5 minutes. Now we make sure in our design, in this design, Bram, you correct me if I'm wrong, what we did that the maximum waiting time should not be more than 1 minute, right?
1 minute, yes, correct.
Yeah, we use high-speed elevators on the upper zone to make sure that the waiting time would be lesser. And yeah, Bram, maybe you can explain further.
Yeah, so we did simulations, let's say traffic analysis by a consultant to check exactly what is the speed that is required and what is the capacity required to meet the demand. So the elevator the waiting time stays absolutely within 1 minute maximum.
Plus, we have ample parking offerings to all unit owners of my Enso, which is rare because at the moment there's a limited parking offering for other developers, for other developments. So this is a plus that we can boast of.
6 levels of parking. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes,
levels of parking.
6
Wow.
basement
Yes.
parking, Nonia.
The basement parking.
And we also have a 3-level retail. So we have a lower ground retail, no, for groceries, and you have a more busy retail on the ground level for food and public coffee shops, no, and another second level retail, no, for business.
I see. That is what is within my Enso Lofts, the building itself. But also, my Enso Lofts, Albert, is located within the heart of Quezon City. What are the establishments nearby, and how does it integrate the live-work-play lifestyle of its residents?
So my Enso is actually located in a strategic part of Quezon City. It's along Timog Avenue, no, which is one of the central areas of Quezon City. So you go down your unit and you're in the middle of Timog Avenue and very close to the Tomas Morato area. No? It's bounded also by 2 main roads. You have Sergeant Esguerra at the back, and you have Timog Avenue in front of it. No? Very close to the property, walking distance to it. For those pedestrians who don't have a car, no? They can just walk to GMA Kamuning Station, no, for them to travel around Metro Manila. And it's also very close to EDSA, no, if you're driving. The establishments near the area, you have, of course, the malls around it. You have Trinoma, Vertis North, and Robinsons Magnolia. If your kids, no, will study in the university, you have close universities nearby. You have Ateneo, UP, and also very near the property are government institutions, no, around the area. Plus, you also have the 2 biggest network here, very close, GMA and ABS-CBN.
Well, I have, I guess, my last question for Gigi and Albert. With the situation that we have now, I want to ask, is it still a good time to invest or buy a property even amid this pandemic? Why is my Enso Lofts a good investment for property seekers?
Yes, Noni, it's definitely a good time still to invest. As a matter of fact, it's during the crisis when you should invest. And you don't have to wait for the upswing. This is the best time to invest with a project like my Enso because of the unique concept. You have this technology, we have a good location, the technology and the extra space at no extra cost. And in behalf of PH1 World, I would like to invite everyone to visit our showroom and discover for themselves what this Loft technology is all about and how it maximizes the value, no, in their units and their soon-to-be home and investment.
Wow. Well, after hearing all of this extra space at no extra cost talk, really, Gigi, I'm excited to visit your showroom and see it personally too. So again, I would like to thank everyone for being with us today and for giving our viewers a virtual tour, not only of your building, but also of the showrooms and the rooms as well within my Enso Lofts. Thank you, Gigi, Albert, Bram, and Edgar.
Thank you, Nani.
We hope to have you back again as our guests, and we look forward to more extraordinary and innovative project from the partnership between PH1 World Developers and Megawide.
Thank you, Nani.
Thank you, Nani. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you.
And I guess to our viewers, thank you as well for joining us. I'm sure you're very excited to check out my Enso Lofts and experience its unique and futuristic amenities. So for those of you who would like to get more information, please do visit lamudi.com.ph and search for my Enso Lofts, or simply click the URL in the caption of this video. You can also visit, like what Gigi mentioned, you can also visit my showroom. You can also visit my Enso Loft showroom at Unit 101, South Insula Building, Barangay South, Triangle, Quezon City. Again, this has been Noni, and thank you for tuning in to Lamudi's first ever Webilaunch episode. We hope to see you again soon.